the pound dollar for the week of October the 11th. On our long-term position, we are short the pound from 161.11, and now we're trading at 158.39. So that position is, I'm just going to show you the position. The pound dollar, that position is up $2,600. So technically we're short. Structurally we're short. So if we look at the weekly chart on the pound dollar, as you see, we have failed several times to take the high of the 166.20, thus failing to make a higher high. We have now traded below the structure point of 159.80, and now that we're looking for a further decline. The dollar now, the pound now has a short-term trend change. This is a confirmed trend change. Our buy signal is very clear on a buy above 159.80, so above 159, below 159.80 we're not even looking or considering any trade to the long side in the pound dollar, and we're looking for a test of around the 155.40. So we have another about 500 pips to go, and the key trigger is going to be the low of the prior week, which is the 157.67. So we are going to, as I said, maintain our bias, and the key trigger is going to be a trade below the 157.67. So I placed a line here and I colored it lead so that you can see that if we trade below the 157.67, this is where we're going to add to our position and to our short position, looking to take it further to the downside. Looking at the daily chart, that is a major reversal that you have seen, and as you have seen, this is one of the key significant points about the structure point. It is a major point where a lot of decisions has been taken, and now for the last 2 weeks we have been oscillating up and down around the 159.80 only to resolve ourselves to the downside, and that, as I should lead us to a further decline. And this is your 57.67, which is the weekly low. So we should be staying on the short side, and we are going to take the prior 2 days low is the 159.72, which is pretty much close to the 159.80. So we're not looking, as I said, to buy the pound unless it trades above the 159.80, and we are going to maintain our short bias to the downside. Okay, looking at the intraday chart, as you can see that this has been a big slide coming through from the prior day, which closed near the, it was like a reversal in the New York session, and then this was a continuous slide to the downside. Once we came to the 59.80, we had some sort of a slight attempt to reverse, which was typical, going through the 159.80 all week long, and then when it sold off, it took all the way down to the downside, closing here near the low of the day. And since this is a big range day, then our shorting point is going to be below the low of the day, which is 158.32. So we are going to go short if we break below the opening range, and if we trade below the 158.20. I'm using 20 from 39. I'm just giving it a little bit of room because probably we're going to get the first push to the downside out of the range, and that might get some buying. So if we have a break out of the range to the downside, we want to be short. And now if it trades below the 159.80, we're going to maintain our short buys. Now if it opens above and we have a break to the upside above the range, we should not be taking the buys. So we will filter any buy above the range, and that buy is our gift. So if you look at the opening range and you can get a push anywhere like to the upside, as long as it's below the 159.80, you are looking at all this move as an opportunity to go short. You do not, if you want to take a buy, you can take the buy, but keep in mind this is a scalping trade. You do not going to take that trade to go long the pound as a position. This is a scalp, and you're looking, actually should be looking to take it as an opportunity to the downside, to go short and sell it to the downside. So our buy, as I said, is 59 above 59.80. Our short is going to be below the 159.20. This is 30 here. This is the low, the close, but we are going to sell it below the 59.20, and we are going to take the break to the downside out of the range, and we are going to filter taking any buys out of the open.